Today, the games that we're breaking down at 12 o'clock, I'm pretty excited. From Lee Sterling, it's going to be off the chain. And we're just going to make a little money, enjoy a little bit of life, and take care of business. Now, I'm hoping I got my buddies back at the crib because we are about to talk a little bit about some high school football. Very, very sad news, though, man. Houston, it happens. They got nipped by the Haven last week. Whitehaven got them. It's been a heck of a season already. They've already dropped, Briarcrest, DeSoto Central, Germantown, Cordova. They fell last week at home against Whitehaven. They got to get off the mat, man, because these boys got to go to Tupelo. Ben Bennett, Chandler Day, y'all back at the crib?
We're here. We're ready to rock and roll, John, and we're ready to get it going tonight because that was a very tough loss for us last week.
Painful. As much success winning the state championship last year, hopes are extremely high. How hard was it to get the boys up off the mat after that tough loss?
I don't think it was hard at all, John. I think they jumped right up and they were ready to go come Sunday morning when practice rolled around, and I think they had a really good week of practice. It's kind of one of those things, sometime a little wake-up call, just kind of, hey, guess what? We're just a bunch of normal kids playing football.
And they still, though, have everything in front of them. Again, y'all have a tough one tonight. After last week's Whitehaven game, on the road in Tupelo, correct?
On the road in Tupelo on the blue turf.
The old Boise blue turf, huh?
Yeah, they got a two-tone blue turf with yellow end zone, so hopefully there won't be any ducks landing on this thing tonight.
Stylish. I got to know something, man. Chandler Day back at the crib?
He's right here, ready to go.
Yes, sir, I'm here.
Yo, what up, Chandler? How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Thank you for having me.
No, thank you for joining, man. I got to ask you before we get into any football, talk about like your teammates, the things that we've done last week. It is the last week of baseball. It's like this is it. Then we're going into October. There's some big matchups going on this week. If you've been paying any attention to the wild card, things gotten a little bit wilder in the National Leagues. You got the Diamondbacks at 88-71, the New York Mets at 87-70, and the Braves, they're one game back. The race got also a little bit weirder because, of course, the Mets-Braves series on Wednesday and Thursday are rained out due to heavy rains. They're going to be playing on Monday to see who gets in, who gets out. It's going to be absolutely wild. During football season, being a baseball guy, do you even pay attention to what's going on in the pro game?
I usually don't really pay attention until we get to October and when the stakes get higher and teams start getting eliminated. So I don't pay attention that much. I'm usually all in on football during that time, but it's definitely really exciting. There's nothing better than October during baseball season, so I don't pay that much attention, but I'll definitely pay attention when October comes around.
Chandler Day, the quarterback over at Houston. He also pitches and plays baseball and does all kinds of other things. And you signed with Tennessee to go play with the coolest coach on planet Earth, Tony V. You got to tell me, it doesn't seem from where I sit a very difficult reason. I would kill to go play with Tony V. I think he's the coolest coach around. Right now, everything's pushing up daisies in Knoxville. You got Heupel tearing things up with the football team. Nico Iamaleava is awesome. Tony V championship. Basketball's been balling. What was it that sold you on Tennessee?
I really wasn't even all in on Tennessee going in there. I had a good visit with Auburn before then, so going into it, I wasn't that optimistic, especially because we just played Briarcrest right before. So I was a little tired going in right after the game. So it was a great time. Obviously the campus is really cool, but the thing I think that sold me was how much time they put into their players. I met up with their strength and conditioning coach. He was probably one of the coolest people I've ever met, and he's actually good friends with Trey Weedman. I don't know if you know him. He used to play here. My dad's really good. My dad coached him, and he's the strength and conditioning coach with the Orioles right now, and he said they knew each other. So I was like, oh, that's really cool. So, and he usually, he doesn't like a whole lot of strength and conditioning coaches from other places because he thinks that, they're wrong, and so his stuff's right. So that's usually how it goes with all of them. And also the nutritionist that they had there was really cool, and she funny story, we were getting ready to leave and move on to something else, and she was like, oh, go ahead and grab a protein shake. And I was like, oh, okay. So I reached out. I didn't really pay attention. I kind of just grabbed one. She's like, oh, no, put that one down. Grab that one. And I grabbed it. I was like, oh, she obviously knows what she's doing, so she's obviously really cool.
Man, how big is nutrition in high school? When we were growing up, it was a lot different than it is today. Y'all, is that something that y'all pay attention to a whole lot?
It's definitely something I've paid attention to a lot more last year and this year because I feel like when I was younger, I didn't really care what it was. I just wanted to eat whatever tasted good. But obviously, it doesn't work like that when you get older. You got to put the right things in your body. So it definitely, I paid a lot more attention to it now than I used to.
All right, now I gotta get to it, man. What was Tony V like?
He was awesome. He's exactly how you would think. He's a really intense guy on the field, but when you get like off the field, when I sat down with him one-on-one, and even when I talked to him on the phone, he was really cool. He's really interested in other people, which I really liked about him. He really wanted to know how I was doing and like the things outside of baseball, like football. He always asked about that. He asked what my parents are doing, asked what my brother's doing. So I really like him a lot. He's really cool, and even all the other coaching staff, they're really awesome. There were a lot of like, aside from Coach Anderson, who was also really great, they have a lot of young coaching staff who have a lot of energy and want to get after it. So I really like that about them.
All right, now I also got to know, man, this is your senior year, probably the last time that you're ever going to get to be, you know, like your dad's going to be your coach and everything. What's this year been like?
It's been really fun. I'm trying to just take it all in and have as much fun as I can. Like, over the years, it's really been fun with all the other coaches, just building the relationship with the coaches and even my teammates, because they're like, I'm going to have these relationships forever, I feel like, 'cause we've been friends forever. So I'm really just trying to take it all in right now.
Now that you're taking all things in right now, and I know you got to keep a little bit of a side eye over on Knoxville, what you thinking about their football team?
About Knoxville?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're really good. I think Nico Iamaleava is like probably, in my opinion, I think he's top 5 quarterbacks in college football right now. But they're hot right now. Like they're like the best defense in college football right now. Their offense is really high. They're explosive. They get really good explosive plays. So I really like what they do, and we actually try to mimic a lot of what they do on our team.
I love this. We're talking with Chandler Day. We've been so blessed. Ben Bennett's brought us up Marvis Davis. He is the athletic director out at Houston. He's brought in Nick Royston, who's an offensive lineman for you. By the way, my man Nick had nothing but high praise to talk about you as a leader. And now we got Chandler Day, who's going to be taking his talents to Knoxville. Need to know, what are y'all thinking today about Tupelo? What's the focus? What's the most important thing you to do? Is the weather's like it is in Memphis right now. It's going to be a nasty game.
Yeah, I haven't really looked that much at the weather at it right now, because, I mean, I feel like at this point we've had already like 2 really hard rainy games, so I think the rain isn't really an issue. The main thing I look for is the wind as a quarterback, because, I mean, you can't really float the ball when you got a lot of wind in your face or going with you, so that's the main thing I try to worry about. But at this point in the season, this is obviously a big test after what happened last week. But I agree with what Coach Bennett said. We didn't need a whole lot of motivation. We understand the task at hand, so we're really excited going into this game so we can try to prove people wrong.
All right. Now, what was it like, though, having – because last year, I mean, you ended the season as winners, victorious, your state champs. Everything's cruising along. How bad did last week sting?
I mean, it obviously stung a lot. And obviously, Whitehaven, they had a lot of motivation going into this game. Like, they haven't made the playoffs in 2 years, so they're obviously really excited about this year. They want to do everything they can to try to turn things around for their program. So, I mean, we'll give it to them. They played a good game. They played about as good as we could. We played about as bad as we could. So, you know, it happens. We're going to move on to next week and try to do everything we can to keep hopes alive.
When you're looking over there at Tupelo, and how do you think you're going to have to attack them offensively tonight?
Offensively, they're really big up front. They're really physical. They can play really fast. So they check all the boxes for every defense that you look for. So they're going to play really good. They've showed really good skill on their defensive side as of like when we've been watching film against Oxford and Hernando. They beat 2 really good teams. They also played in the rain against Hernando. So I watched that one a lot to see how they handle the rain and what they do defensively. But, I mean, they're going to play hard. I mean, they're obviously not going to forget what we did to them at our place last year. So they're obviously going to have a little bit of an edge going into this one.
All right, Ben, you're back at the crib. Talk to me. Tell me what's going on, man. How many, like, the best student section in the country is over at Houston. With this weather being as nasty as it's going to be, how many guys are going down there to support?
I think they have a bus going down. I think they have a charter bus going down, so hopefully we'll pack that charter bus. Hey, if I was out a student in a game, I would love to be out in that stands rooting us on tonight in a game like this. Just a little rain, a little wind, having a good time down in Tupelo.
Man, got to also ask you guys, how did Coach Thomas handle that loss last week? Has he been still steady Eddie?
I mean, he's still, like, for him, I think he's the same every week. He doesn't really change much. He's still the same person. So that's one thing we really admire. He's going to obviously have a little bit of more of an edge, but he still takes every week, 1 week at a time to make sure, like, hey, every week's important. You can't take 1 week off.
Man, I absolutely love this right now. We're talking with Chandler Day. Again, he's the quarterback over at Houston. They came off of a very tough loss at home against the Haven. Now they're on the road to play Tupelo on the blue turf, a little two-tone blue with some yellow end zones. It's going to be a buck wild tonight. I need to know, how's my man Gates Mims doing back at the crib?
Well, we got right before we came on, I got a text from his father. His sister is a 10 out of 10 match for bone marrow.
Oh my goodness,
Yeah.
that is great
That
news.
is some big news. So he's doing good. They're going to be down in Tuscaloosa this weekend for the game, the Georgia-Alabama game, and they're setting up another tent to do swabs to look for matches. So the search still continues because you obviously want to have more than one. So, but he is doing really well right now. A lot of good positive stuff coming out of this.
Man, everybody out there, I know was like the whole team. The way y'all back him is just amazing. The community coming together, and last week everybody out there who went got swabbed out at Houston, and they're doing it again today down in Tupelo.
No, they're doing it down in Tuscaloosa.
Oh, in Tuscaloosa, They're going to do it down in Titletown.
Yep, that's where his father. They're down there from that area, so they're going down there. His uncle, I believe, has a bar down there. They're going to set up down there. They're going to swab, and they're going to find some more matches, hopefully, and just
Beautiful.
Super great news.
Man, that is out of control. Awesome. Now that we kind of mentioned Tuscaloosa, I just have to ask y'all. Biggest game of the week we know is down there. Georgia is on the road playing Alabama. Who y'all got?
I mean, for me, it's kind of a tough choice because they're both coming off bye weeks, and that's what I usually try to pay attention to, like how they did last week going into this week. But if you go to the week before, Alabama played a good Wisconsin team. They beat them up pretty good on the road, which was good for them. Then you look at Georgia, they played Kentucky. They kind of had a rough start. They kind of pulled it off towards the end. They finished strong. So it's still a tough choice, but I always say it's tough to play at Tuscaloosa, so I'm going to have to give Bama this one.
Man, oh man, and it's kind of crazy if you look back at it. I believe 44 wins against everybody else and 1-2 against Alabama in the last since 2001. That's kind of wild. They beat everybody and their grandmother, but they did lose to Nick Saban. We'll see what Kalen DeVore can do. And it seems like Chandler Day, if baseball don't work out or anything, you might be breaking down some football going on in the future. That was pretty good. I got another question for you.
All right.
Ole Miss, first SEC game this week down in Oxford, 11 a.m. We're going to be down in the Grove partying like rock stars, playing ball like all stars. You know the rest. My question is, they haven't played anybody. Like, they basically been playing against air. Kentucky, do you think this offense that's been Jackson Dart's hitting Trey Harris, Juice Wells, they just look like they can't be stopped. Do you think this is going to be able to get over the 17.5-point spread?
I think they definitely have a chance. If you look at their offense, it's basically the exact same as it was last year, minus their running back. So they've done a really good job all year. I love what Lane Kiffin does. They do a really good job with their offense. I mean, going back to what you said, they haven't really played anybody, but if you look at the scores, they put up 50-plus in just about every game. So they've done what they're supposed to do against teams like that. So, I mean, I'm sure they'll cover the spread.
Ben, do me a favor, man. Who you got this week?
I'm
Georgia or Bama?
I'm kind of leaning Georgia. I have a feeling Georgia's going to really come out. I think they're going to come out and look special. And I have a feeling it's going to be a little close game down there in Oxford.
Man, I will tell you also something that's kind of crazy. Did y'all? I can't think of his name off the bat, but have y'all seen that 17-year-old kid who's a receiver for Alabama?
Ryan Williams.
Thank you very much, man. See, Chandler, you can do my job, brother. I love this. That kid is a absolute freak. He should be playing high school ball with you right now.
I know he should. It's pretty crazy when you look at him on TV.
I mean, I think this weekend seeing him against that Georgia defensive back is going to be that DBs are going to be awesome. So we got a lot of football going on here. Houston is on the road. They're playing Tupelo. Need to know a couple other things. You talk about tonight, y'all are going to be on the road playing Tupelo. Like, how do you and the defensive players, do you communicate a lot? I know listening to Nick Royston last week, he talked about how you are the leader of the offense. You communicate with the boys on the other side of the ball?
Oh, for sure. Because, I mean, most of our guys go two ways, so I always talk to them about, like, whenever they're on the defensive side, I'm like, hey, what'd you see here? Like, if a play doesn't go well, I'll ask them, like, hey, what'd you see here? Like, are we tipping anything? Are we doing anything wrong? Am I looking the wrong way? Like, are you reading my eyes? Like, so I always ask them about stuff like that. I used to go in the defensive meetings whenever we'd go before a game. I listened to what they say, and I kind of would implement it on the field whenever I would go out. But I don't usually do it as much anymore because it's all the same thing. But, I mean, they really do a good job, and they know a whole lot on both sides of the ball, so I always try to get input from both sides.
And I got to ask you, Chandler, what do you think about old Ben Bennett?
Oh, I love Coach Bennett. He's been with me since freshman year. There's a bunch of stories I could tell. He's awesome. I love Coach Bennett.
He's not a bad guy at all, man.
No,
His
great
dad,
guy.
Ernie, he was the one who coached us when we were growing up, and now Ben's just paying it forward. I know things are going well over at Houston, and especially in your life. Your senior year, football season, when it does come to an end, hopefully with another state championship, you turn it over to the baseball. What positions are you playing? What are you doing? What are you going to play at Tennessee?
I'll be a left-handed pitcher, but they told me that I have the opportunity to do two-way when I get there. I could hit also, but obviously I have to have a good year and I have to be comfortable enough to be able to do it there. So they gave me the opportunity, but we'll see what happens.
Left-handed pitcher at Tennessee right now. He's the lefty playing quarterback for Houston High School. They got a big one on the road against Tupelo tonight. Ben, closing thoughts.
Get out of there with a victory and get out of there with nobody with any bumps and bruises and go into next week's game, another region game next week. And that's what we're looking for. Just get out of there with a victory and no big problems.
Man, last night, speaking of that game, man, Dallas, we had Micah Parsons. Dallas held on and beat the Giants, still in a very ugly football game. Giants defense, I just thought that was an ugly football. But Micah Parsons, he got carted off. You had my man Malik Neighbors got a concussion. Yeah, those Thursday night games, it always seems like there's more injuries, doesn't it?
They get rowdy on Thursday night.
They do get a little bit rowdy on Thursday night. Houston's getting rowdy on Friday night. They're going to be headed down to Tupelo. Thank you, Chandler Day. Thank you, Ben Bennett. We'll do it again next week. I want to remind you, I'm out here at TSS Supply, 5665 East Rains Road. It is your one-stop shop for concrete polishing and coating supplies. Instead of going to 4 or 5 places before you can get a crew to the job site, just come on out here. They got everything for you. And also, October 16th, there's going to be a lab service demonstration on decorative concrete coating. Email my buddy Brad at tsssupply.com to reserve your spot. We're going to take a quick time out. We got the historian on the other side. Come on out and join me. Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
Be sure to follow us at Sports 56 WHBQ on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube to watch live video of our shows, stay up to date with station events, and have chances to win prizes. Don't miss out on anything that's going on. Follow us at Sports 56 WHBQ.
Rick's Powder Coating for a beautiful finish every time. Rick's Powder Coating specializes in automotive, ornamental, residential, and industrial coating. With 2 conveyor lines and the largest batch ovens in the Mid-South, Rick's can accommodate all of your powder coating needs. Locally owned and operated since 2002, Rick's Powder Coating will customize a beautiful finish just for you. Drop by or call to see how Rick's Powder Coating can bring color to your life. 901-367-2771 or rickspowdercoating.com.
It's time to get your Kia on at Gossett Kia on the bike with 41 MPG and new 2024 Kia Forte LXS $199 a month, $37.99 due at signing. 2025 Kia Sportage $269 a month, $34.99 due at signing. And 2024 Kia Telluride S $359 a month, $39.99 due at signing. And 0% for 72 months on 2024 Kia EV9 Lite available. Plus, you always get peace of mind with Kia's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. Call Bobby J. He's ready to put you in your new Kia today. That's Gossett Kia 1900 Covington Pike or online KiaCovingtonPike.com. If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars. 50 acquisition fee, $20,000 per year, 20 cents excess mileage. Forte RE 794 626 MSRP 21820. Telluride RG 453 666 MSRP 39835. Sportage S73 40278 MSRP 29135. Includes all rebates and incentives. PF 695. Includes TTNL. Must finance through Hyundai with approved credit valid through 9/30/24. Dealer stock only.
I felt like we were really lucky to have a place like Genesis. There are several jewelry stores, I know, but I don't think any of them can match up to Genesis.
Meet Beth Gear, another thrilled Genesis Diamonds customer.
Yeah, the whole experience was wonderful. I felt really super comfortable, and I felt confident that we were getting the best deal for the money. too.
But for Beth, it was more than just getting a great price.
I'd say the value was extraordinary. Even if the price had been slightly more, I think we would have still chosen Genesis just because we felt that there really was a personal connect. We felt like they really wanted us to be happy.
Genesis Diamonds, where you and your budget are respected from the minute you walk in.
No matter what your budget is, Genesis will work with you. They never make you feel uncomfortable if you don't have the biggest budget. They are very respectful of our budget and need to stay within it.
Discover the Genesis difference, where we will be proud to show up.
We'd always tell people to have a Genesis because I want them to have the same thing.
Genesis Diamonds, Memphis's direct diamond import, and Poplar and Perkins Extended.
Hi, Jimmy Stovall here with Corky's Barbecue. A great way to beat the heat this summer is to stop into Corky's for happy hour and let us pour you an ice-cold draft beer. Corky's has the best happy hour deals around with our selection of local craft beers on draft for only $2. And check out our appetizer specials, including dollar wings and half order of barbecue nachos. Stop into any Memphis area location Monday through Friday from 6 p.m. to 6 p.m. And if you're in East Memphis, check out our newly renovated location and enjoy our new patio.
Corky's Barbecue.
Hi, Jimmy Stovall here with Corky's Barbecue. A great way to beat the heat this summer is to stop into Corky's for happy hour and let us pour you an ice-cold draft beer. Corky's has the best happy hour deals around with our selection of local craft beers on draft for only $2. And check out our appetizer specials, including dollar wings and half order of barbecue nachos. Stop into any Memphis area location Monday through Friday from 6 p.m. to 6 p.m. And if you're in East Memphis, check out our newly renovated location and enjoy our new patio.
Make your next grill your last with a Big Green Egg. Smoke, bake, roast, sear, and grill, all with a lifetime warranty. Save money on fuel, eating out, and replacing expensive grills that cannot match the flavor of the Big Green Egg. Ready to cook in only 10 to 15 minutes with temperatures below 200, above 700, and anywhere in between with ease. Change your at-home cooking experience for life. Go to shop.biggreenegg.com.
Ole Miss Rebel Yell is back. The Rebel Yell Hotline Radio Show is back on WHBQ Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Every Monday night at 6, hear the latest news on your Ole Miss Rebels with Yancey Porter with 24/7 Sports, former Ole Miss defensive tackle Mike Fitzsimmons, Gordon Ford covering SEC Sports Call, and former Ole Miss baseball announcer Gary Darby. From kickoff to free throw to extra innings, your Ole Miss Sports on the Rebel Yell Hotline Show right here Monday night at 6 on Sports 56, 560 AM and 98.5 FM. Your Mid-South Sports Station.
Now back to Sports 56 Happy Hour with Johnny Radio. This hour brought to you by Buster's Butcher at 199 South Highland, where every cut is the right cut. Here once again is Johnny Radio.
I get no down, but I get over that. Get the habit on to keep me down. I get no down, but I get over that. Get the habit on to keep me down.
Welcome back to a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your buddy Johnny Radio. It's a Friday, baby. The weekend is here. We are going to be gambling. We are going to be picking games. And we are going to be rooting for the Houston Mustangs, who are heading down to Tupelo. Big thanks to Ben Bennett, who brought in Chandler Day, and a bunch of Tennessee fans out there have been texting me. They're excited that Chandler is heading up to Knoxville to be a lefty pitcher with Tony V. They got a big game tonight, but we got a lot of big games, man. We got a lot of basketball. We got a lot of football that we got to break down. I'm looking forward to that Georgia-Alabama game. I know everybody's looking forward to that bad boy. But we got some NCAA action tonight. Cam Ward looks really good with them Hurricanes. They're playing Virginia Tech tonight. That line is 17.5. I know T-Money and Uncle Brasky have an opinion on that game. We're also going to break down Kentucky, Ole Miss. You got Oklahoma State at Kansas State. I got a strong feeling on that game. We are talking football, but I got to remind you, come and join me. 5665 East Rains Road. Come on out here. Say what up. We're out here at TSS Supply. We got food. We got gifts. We got giveaways. We got Tiger tickets. But if you're out there looking for, some supplies because you're all into concrete resurfacing, well, this is the place. TSS Supply, 5665 East Rains Road. It's your one-stop shop for concrete polishing and coating. Instead of going to 4 or 5 places, just drop on here right now so you can get your crew out to the site. Hell, they even have ice for your coolers. And there's over 1,000 square feet in the warehouse. They have a 400 square foot garage. They got it all. whatever you need, they got. And on October 16th, there's going to be a land surface demonstration. It's going to be on decorative concrete coating. You need to email my buddy Brad to reserve your spot. His email, brad@tsssupply.com. That's brad@tsssupply.com. J-Ham, what it do?
First of all, I got to give a shout out to my neighborhood as Brad Dakin sees me in the studio. I am throwing up
That's right.
the Haven.
That's right.
And I graduate.
I had to hear
graduate
this.
From the Haven. I'm just a
I heard
lifetime-
this all week from
I'm
you.
just a lifetime Haven guy.
I'll let
That's
you do
all.
it, Jay. I can't get behind it because I also went to Houston, but I'll let you do it. I'll let you sit
it's
in there
all
and do
good,
it.
You know, but here's the thing, though.
Hey, Jay, just so you know, Ben and Chandler aren't too far, and I'm just down the street, and you got 4-on-1, buddy.
Well, maybe
man,
maybe 3-on-1. I don't know how much I'd
You really
add.
don't know how fast the Haven can come through. Especially when your boy makes the call, you know. But no,
That's right.
I
The
watched
Baker's
that game,
boy.
though. I watched that game. It was a very good game. Why Haven came to play? I give him that.
Man,
you
what
know,
was it? A
but-
one score game, wasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, shout out to Coach Rodney Salisbury because the program it took a hit. They were down for a couple years, but that's a coaching dude, man. He's done
Man,
a
you got
lot
Rodney
of great
Salisbury
stuff
out
with
there,
them.
James Thomas out there. There's some good coaches in the Mid-South. for these young
Absolutely,
fellas, so
absolutely. And
that-
shout out to the Mustangs too, man, because you know they're still the defending state champs unless they
somebody knocks
repeat.
them off, but that might not happen, son.
That's what I'm saying. Unless they go back to back and they repeat with it, because they're good enough to do so. So it is what it is.
I like it. I like it a lot. Also, a big shout out, by the way. Thanks again to Marvis Davis. He's the athletic director over at Houston for letting Ben bring these awesome young men out here from Nick Royston to Chandler Day. I always love talking to these young people, getting their opinions. But right now, I'm talking to the old man, the historian. I'm talking to Jay Ham. Jay, you been paying attention to all this crazy college football that's been going down?
I've been trying my best to. I've been trying to make sense of it. I'm still trying to get over the fact. Well, I'm still trying to get used to the fact that UCLA, USC are in the Big Ten. I can make sense of Texas and Oklahoma in the SEC. That's still a southern part of the country. I can make sense of that, and they kind of fit in there anyway. Oklahoma had their first SEC game last week, opened it up with Tennessee. Kind of reminded me when Texas A&M first got there. They opened up in their first SEC game with Florida, and they lost at home, just like Oklahoma lost at home.
I just don't even understand how it is that there's so much information that sticks in your brain and you remember all the things that you do, because I know that you also love lettuce, and
Right.
that
kind of part. I think you know what where
it makes you smarter,
right? Where the thought of it is it goes the other way would be it works the opposite. You know, probably because I come from a long line of G's who just indulge anyway. So.
You know, nothing says. By the way, speaking of the Big Ten, think about it. Tonight they have a game in the Big Ten. What does this say? Big Ten football to you? Washington at Rutgers.
That's right.
Washington at Rutgers. That's going down
that's
tonight.
An easy 6-hour flight.
Yeah.
Oh my Lord, that is a long one.
Right, and think about this even on the non-football side, when like the tennis teams have to play, and they have to fly commercial.
Oh, that's crazy too. But also, I didn't even think about it, man. Wisconsin's going to be playing in Los Angeles this weekend. Like they're playing at USC. Like that is. I don't know. You're right, man. These are some long destinations.
Yeah, I mean, but I guess they looked at it. Okay, y'all getting NIL money. Y'all gonna really have to travel like pros, and maintain your GPA and all that other stuff to stay eligible. So this is the new world of college athletics that we're in, and I'm cool with it because it's like, hey, at least they getting paid.
Yeah,
unless you're the quarterback at UNLV, then you're not getting
shout
paid.
out to him because it's like, yo, y'all gonna give me what y'all said y'all gonna give me, or I'm not, or I'm bouncing. And he bounced. And here's the fun part: he maintains all of his eligibility. 4 games or less. That's the fun.
I hope
part
he
about
learned
it.
a lesson, though. I hope he learned a lesson because he doesn't have another redshirt year. So where he goes next year, you better get your bread up
Well,
front.
this is also true, but here's my question though: Vegas, what y'all doing, man? Y'all ain't get Tom Jones on that? Wayne Newton, where they at?
Somewhere,
your
Jerry
hard
Tarkanian's rolling over there,
Do we
sucking
have
on
to
his
go
towel.
fictional and go with Ace Rothstein from Casino? I mean, how we got to make this work? Do we have to dig up Jared Tarkanian and make it work for real? Because you know
Bro.
that everybody's got a bag, man. It's like how Vegas short? Vegas of all places, how you short with the bag?
That is a great question. That is a great question. I guess, man, that just don't even make no sense, and it just also looks bad for Barry Odom. But when we were talking about the Big Ten and moving, I wanted to ask you what you thought about Memphis. Of course, you know, Ed Scott and the university decided not to go out to the Pac-2 and join them. Everybody stayed. It looks like right now the Pac is holding their bag, like trying to figure out what the hell they're going to do.
Right.
What do you? I think it was a good decision, but what do you think, historian?
I think Memphis made the right move, but here's the thing. Stop arguing with me that the college basketball job for that program is a top 20 job when they always get evaded by power conferences. They're looked at as a second, third tier, and it's not necessarily that, but this is how they're viewed. They don't get the move over. They still kind of, I think people still kind of holding out hope that the Big 12 might make a move. The SEC might open up. I even saw somewhere where UConn may even move to the ACC, which ultimately they can move Duke out of the way and to something new, and Carolina as well too. But who knows? But just in general for Memphis, it's like we just talked about their travel. With the
yeah,
know,
plus
Rutgers and
financially, it didn't
Washington.
make it a
Right,
good
and so
decision.
Memphis having to go play Boise, you know, and whoever else is
Or
in the
like, think about this realistically. Like, is Washington State and Oregon State going to be such big? Like, are you going to be like, oh my gosh?
And why did they
the
go?
Beavers and Cougars
they
are
didn't,
coming
they didn't
here.
go to the Big Ten because of they weren't part of the power, right?
They ain't sexy enough.
There you go. And that's what it is. That's ultimately what it comes down to with Memphis. Memphis has a lot of the aesthetics in terms of the facilities. The city has a load of talent in general. The university, for whatever reason, and I'm not trying to knock it, but it's just historically that's what it's been. When everybody moved to the Big East back then, when Louisville, Cincinnati, Marquette, South Florida, DePaul, when they made that move, Memphis was on the outside of that. Then when the AAC is really not a bad conference, football or basketball, in my opinion. It's not quite, you know, among the powers of football, but they can compete. They can get down. You know, it's just because all it takes is one win. You know, to just kind of really crystallize and put everything in motion that way. But I think going forward they'll be fine. And ultimately, I got a feeling they still may end up in the Big 12. When it for it's all said and
I'm
done.
still hopeful, man. I'm still hopeful that I'm just hopeful that somebody's going to come to get us in that Power Four.
Or you know what we could do, John? We could resurrect the old Metro Conference.
Man, I miss those days,
That's
bro.
what I'm
The
saying.
Metro was
Florida
dope.
State, Cincinnati, Tulane, Southern Miss, Louisville,
Those were
us. You know, it was fun. All cities all schools who were basically major metropolitan cities. And wasn't nobody graduating back then. Dana Kirk graduated 7 dudes in 6 years.
But he won.
He won a lot of games, though.
I love when Dana Kirk and Denny Crum were going to get stood on the sidelines. Those were some
I'm
days,
be honest
bro.
with you. Dana Kirk represented Memphis, man.
Yeah, he did. Oh, yeah, he did. Dana Kirk was a real OG, like
Absolutely.
you said. Oh. By the way, man, speaking of that, man, I even brought this up for you, man. Did you see, like, I'm thinking about, you know, like the good old days, and then I was thinking about 2008 and how Cal and them boys were so close. Mario Chalmers broke my heart. Why didn't you foul him, Cal? Damn it. Why'd you let him shoot that three? But that was a magical season, and now D. Rose, his NBA career is over.
Yeah.
He retired this week.
He's one of ours, man. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's he's a Chicago guy, you know, he did his work with the Bulls and everything like that, but he's one of ours by way of Chicago too. You know, because like you just said, he was, you know, the engineer on the floor behind that magical run. Him and Chris Douglas Roberts can't leave out CDR. He was first team All-American that year. But what a career, though. You know the thing that's going to be hard for me with Derek, though, and he's one of my favorites, I'm going to have a hard time accepting the fact that he may be the only NBA MVP to not make the Hall of Fame. His resume just may fall too short. because his injury started right as
Man,
his ascension.
I mean,
of
he went from the
All-Stars
youngest
and-
MVP to like a devastating injury, and it just
Right.
derailed his career. Like it very much mirrors Penny's.
And here's the thing: he's got like the general criteria. I think MVP. He don't have I think he got like 2 or 3 All-Star appearances. Normally, with guys that's in the Hall, they'll normally have in the range of 4 to 5 or more. I think he's got 1 or 2 All-NBAs. He probably would have needed another selection on that too, but like that's when the injury, really took its toll on him. But to see him come back through that, the game winner that he hit against Cleveland in 2015, that was, special.
That was special.
But the night he went for 50 when he was with the Wolves, and he broke down and cried, that was the one where it was like, yo, if you're not a fan of this dude by now, come on, join us. The water's fine. Because it's like, how could you not like this dude, man? Humble dude, but you knew he was a killer. You knew he was a certified killer on the court. He showed that, displayed that. It was an honor and a privilege to watch, dude.
The combination of strength
and speed, yeah.
Strength, speed, hops, handles. Like he had
And
everything.
he never really got to get it all the way around in the league like we really wanted to see. We got to see it later when he became OG Derrick Rose. But had we got to see that when he was like 26, 27, with that still speed and athleticism, I don't know. I'm not trying to take away an MVP away from anybody, but I don't know if Russell Westbrook and James Harden win MVPs if that dude is still healthy, because the impact that he still would have been having on the league at that particular time. And they still would have been great, first ballot Hall of Famers that they are. But you keep it healthy there. It's like if Penny would have still been around in the early 2000s, healthy, he changes the dynamic of that point guard position. Then Derrick Rose would have did the same thing over this last decade or so. It would have been the same effect.
Man, we talking with Jay Ham, the historian. How's everything going with views from the 22? Because when we go on the other side of the break, we're about to get deep up in the NFL. You watched that Cowboys-Giants game last night?
It watched me. I went to sleep.
Nice. You got a little rest, man.
Hey, Miss Ricky works me hard over at Ricky's Cookie Corner, 56th Park Avenue in the Eastgate Shopping Center. Got to get the plug in, man.
Man, you better get that plug in, man. You better get that plug in. I also want to remind somebody, I am out here. Everybody out there, if you're listening, man, come stop by 5665 East Rains Road. We got some food out here. We got some giveaways. But what I'm telling you, though, is if you're doing any concrete resurfacing, this is your one-stop shop. It's all concrete polishing, coating, supplies. They got it all. Don't go to 4 or 5 places. Just get your crew. Come on out here. They got everything from epoxy to decorative concrete sealers. Again, 1,000 square foot, 100,000 square foot warehouse, 400 square foot garage. They even have ice for your coolers, man. Come check them out. Don't forget, October 16th, there's going to be a lab surface demonstration. It's on decorative concrete coating. Email Brad to reserve your spot, brad@tsssupply.com. That's brad@tsssupply.com. We're back at
John,
G-Shakes,
can I bring
Sports
some up?
56.
John, can I bring some
Go
up
ahead.
real quick before we go to break? Y'all were talking about D. Rose and Penny Hardaway, how kind of similar they are in terms of great players, got injured, derailed them. Brett Norsworthy brought this up to me yesterday, and I thought it was crazy to even think about how similar these two guys really were. So, Jay, let me play blind resume with you real quick, okay? So, player A played in 723 games, 12,573 career points, 3,770 assists, and 1,771 rebounds, okay? Player B, 704 games, 10,684 points, 3,525 assists, and 3,525 rebounds. That is way closer than I thought it would be between those two. Do you know which is which?
Penny is A.
Penny is B.
You know what? I was thinking the points, and I
That's
flipped
right.
them around.
I did the exact same thing. It is crazy to think that those two players are that close in career total stats for points, rebounds, and assists.
And their injuries
Exactly.
came like in the 4th year.
Yeah, exactly. It's insane.
Crazy, man.
Sorry, John. You can now throw
Damn,
it to break.
Dacus. No, that was really damn good.
Well, thanks.
I mean,
thank
Brett brought that
'cause
up
he
to you
brought-
yesterday.
Shout out to yesterday,
Shout out to Stats.
Stats always bring in the stats, man. We got stats. We got the historian. We got Dacus back at the crib. I'm out here at TSS Supply, 5665 East Rains Road. When you need concrete resurfacing, there's only one place to go. That's TSS Supply. Back into Shake Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
Broadcasting from the Family Leisure Studio, we are Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Locally owned and operated for over 40 years, Automatic Gates Construction tailors custom gate solutions for all your residential, commercial, and industrial needs, including repairs, maintenance, and installation. Automatic Gates Construction specializes in designing and installing automatic gates and fencing that seamlessly blends security, functionality, and aesthetic appeal. Elevate the safety and efficiency of your property with a premium gate solution. Automatic Gates Construction at myautomaticgates.com.
East Memphis Ace Hardware is more than just a hardware store. It's really a customer service store with 20 employees along with complete inventory of items. They deliver. Finding what you need is easy. Choosing from a complete selection of Big Green Egg as well as Traeger and River grills. And the Garden Center has everything for your yard. You can get glass cut, repair screens, vendor keys, and programming, tools, nuts, bolts, screws. You need it. East Memphis Ace Hardware has it. They're just down the street at the corner of Ridge and White Station.
For life's spectacular moments, only a real diamond will do. At Sissy's Log Cabin, you'll discover a brilliant selection of natural diamonds, along with our promise of unmatched quality and service. The only real diamond is a natural diamond from Sissy's. Find yours when you stop by any of our 6 locations or shop online at sissyslogcabin.com. Discover the natural diamond of your dreams only at Sissy's Log Cabin, because life's too short for ordinary jewelry.
The Labor Day sales event is still going strong at Gossett Chrysler Dodge Jeep Grand Fiat on the bike, and I've got Rock and Ronnie ready to make your day.
Check this out, Randy. New 2023 Dodge Charger SXT, $27,499, over $10,000 off MSRP.
Hey, Ronnie, what about Renegade?
New 2023 Jeep Renegade, $27,499 or $319 a month.
Hey, Ronnie, tell them about that deal on Gladiator.
2024 Jeep Gladiator, over $7,000 off and 0% for 36 months available.
Don't forget about that Ram truck deal.
2025 Ram Traceman, over $6,000 off MSRP.
Rock and Ronnie says drive past the rest and come to the best at Gossett Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Fiat on the bike. Online at GossettMotorCars.net.
Time is of the essence with COVID-19. Prescription oral treatment must be taken within the first 5 days of symptoms. If you have a high risk factor, ask your doctor if treatment is right for you. Learn more at treatcovid19.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Make your next grill your last with a Big Green Egg. Smoke, bake, roast, sear, and grill, all with a lifetime warranty. Save money on fuel, eating out, and replacing expensive grills that cannot match the flavor of the Big Green Egg. Ready to cook in only 10 to 15 minutes with temperatures below 200, above 700, and anywhere in between with ease. Change your at-home cooking experience for life. Go to shop.biggreenegg.com.
Now back to Sports 56 Happy Hour with Johnny Radio. This hour brought to you by Buster's Butcher at 199 South Highland, where every cut is the right cut. Here once again, Johnny Radio.
Welcome back to a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your buddy Johnny Radio. Happy Friday, everybody. Hope life is treating you well. I'm out here at TSS Supply. It is for all your concrete resurfacing needs. It's a one-stop shop for concrete polishing and coating and the supplies and everything. You don't have to go to 4 or 5 shops, bro. Just come here. 5665 East Rains Road. And on October 16th, there's going to be a lab surface demonstration on decorative concrete coating. To reserve your spot, email my buddy Brad at TSSsupply.com. That's Brad at TSSsupply.com. Jay Ham, the historian, is back at the hizzy.
Yes, sir.
And baby, man, we've been so busy. I haven't even got to talk to you about some of the crazy stuff going on in the National Football League this week.
You know
and
what?
the first thing I got to bring up is this. There's a lot of crazy stuff, but I cannot wait to watch the Bills and the Ravens. Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen. Lamar Jackson's got 2 MVPs. You got Josh Allen, who still ain't got one, but he's got to be the front runner right now with 7 touchdown passes, 2 rushing, completing 75% of his passes. 3-0 the Bills are. But man, this for me is I'm kind of interested to see, can Buffalo's defense continue to play above their head? I mean, that defensive front has been nasty. They're covering on the back end. Who do you like, Allen or Lamar?
The Ravens, what I'm looking at it as a 2.5 favorite at the crib.
Yup, it is back there in Baltimore.
Over under at about 46.5. You know what? Give me the Ravens with that one. They're going to play some Big 8 football. They're going to run the football. That's
Man, you got King Henry back there.
Not the Big 12, the Big 8.
The Big 8.
Colorado, Nebraska, Oklahoma, Barry Switzer, Oklahoma, Tom Osborne, Bill McCartney. That Big 8. Old school.
Old school. So you like the Ravens on Sunday night. I'm not going to lie to you, man. We're going to find out something because I'm leaning Sunday night towards the Bills.
They need a home win. You know what I'm saying?
The Ravens are struggling after leading the league last year in wins, being the number 1 overall seed in the AFC, losing that tight game. Of course, the Chiefs last year.
Right.
Ravens 1 win, 2 losses. Really need to get this dub, but man, their pass defense is dead last. And I don't know if you know this, Josh Allen is pretty damn good. And if you run over 50, his record is 36-7 when you have a rusher go over 50 yards. I feel like, man, James Cook and the way Joe Brady's calling plays, I have to rock with the Bills until I see otherwise. I can't back the Ravens right now.
I definitely feel you on that. Other than if I was just looking at the Ravens being at home and they need to get this win, even though we look at it as week 4, but it's like, y'all need to get this one. It's one of those you're going to need in general, coming because it's a conference foe. So you're going to want any type of head-to-head matchups that you got. You're going to want that advantage in any scenario coming down, just going forward. But just in general, man, I've been enjoying just good football all, the previous 3 weeks in general with the NFL. And it's like, I normally don't really get into it until October because I'm letting get all the bad and missed tackles out of the way and all the other little, trials that teams and stuff, that they just generally have. But it's been pretty interesting to start, because the quarterback situation across the league is
pretty wild. Like you got the young, if I just looked at the young ones, man, like Jaden Daniels looks like that dude. What he did,
he can ball,
he was almost perfect the other night.
Right.
2 incompletions, that's it. Had 2 touchdown passes, ran for 1. Absolute shootout. He's looking good, but, man, I'm telling you, Caleb Williams and the Bears, they're at home this week against the Rams. I'm just ready for him to start look like Caleb Williams. Hope the Bears don't ruin another young kid.
You know what?
And then
he's taking a lot of flack, and some of it, as I watch him on the field, is not warranted. This dude can play, man. It's one of those deals where you're throwing these young dudes into the fire immediately, and it's really not – they're not developing quarterbacks in the league right now. It's just something, it's very microwave, and it's going to hurt the sport going forward, just in general. But sometimes you just got to let dudes just make the mistakes. I think, now what happened with Bryce Young, that was just one where I don't even put that on him.
I have to say this. I just have to say this. For me, it's simple. How did any NFL football team take a guy my size with the number 1 overall pick? Again, he's 5'10".
Right.
Like $190. He looks like
he
looks like. Have you ever seen that movie, like The Little Giants? He looks like one of the little giants out there playing in the National Football League. And you saw what happened when the Red Rocket came in. That supposedly terrible offense absolutely went ham.
Veteran, John.
That is true.
It's like, what?
That is
I
true.
was thinking that then. It's like, okay, you put a 15-year veteran in who just knows who's been to the playoffs, who's won divisions. You got to remember, Andy Dalton won games as a rookie.
I know. He was
going
good
to
when he was.
We shortchanged him because he didn't win. And who's won in Cincinnati since
Boomer Esiason.
You see what I'm saying? So
since they had the icky shuffle going on back in the day,
right? But it's like Andy Dalton is a serviceable NFL quarterback for a career. He's the career starter for the most part. He had some backup years in his twilight, but
yeah. But I know one thing. You didn't think he was going to go in there and throw 3 touchdown passes and throw it for 320 yards. That was ridiculous, all over the Raiders' face.
I didn't think that, but I didn't think he was going to go in there and stink the joint up. I'm like, okay, they'll play better because they run with a 15-year veteran. So they'll be better in this week preparation. He understands a bunch of nuances of the game that the second-year kid hadn't even begun to understand yet. And that's okay. But it's really only okay if you're developing. And you're throwing these dudes out there like that, and some of them don't be ready to play, and it's not their fault that they're not ready to play. Game moves very fast. It's a whole lot of language that goes into it, and some are, some aren't. But you have to let them bump their head. It's just my
I was listening. I was going to say, when you talk about just some of the verbiage, I was listening to some of the in-game, like Bo Nix when he was in there calling the damn play. That was like, I was like, bruh, I can't remember like any of that.
And see, Bo Nix had an extra year to develop, which I think the extra year and the transfer did wonders for him.
Yeah, heading out to Oregon, learning a new system. Like, he's a sharp kid, man. He's a sharp kid, but man, he's got a tough one this week against the New York Jets. Man, if the Jets are opening up 3-1 in the season, does that say anything to you about Aaron Rodgers and if this was the right move, or does that just basically say they're 3-1 against a bunch of patsies?
It speaks volumes because I said he was done. But just as I spoke about the Red Rocket being a 15-year veteran, this dude here is a 20-year veteran. And he's a 20-year veteran that has won one. And one thing we got to remember about Aaron Rodgers, people will talk, well, he's only won one Super Bowl. May I remind you that he won a Super Bowl with the most teammates on IR than any other team in Super Bowl history. He had more dudes, his regular dudes, out when they won. And they were a 6 seed.
Yeah, I think it's just the problem with those 4 MVPs that he has, and the fact that the lack of the postseason success. Remember when they played the San Francisco 49ers? They couldn't even score on them.
Exactly. This is where it views for the 22, youtube.com/cultured ones, the number 1 with the S on the end. We've always referred to him as Arrogant Aaron. Because
I like it.
He knows he's this
Arrogant
good.
Aaron or ayahuasca Aaron.
But it's like you take him and you take the other 12. Brady. Brady always stayed within his mechanics. He always just stayed in the flow. Peyton was the same way as well. They stayed within just what was what. Aaron know he can bounce outside, throw off his back foot, tight spiral, hit you dead in the chest. That everybody just can't do. But because he can do it, don't mean he should.
Good point.
And he's had a lot of that over time. Or he tries to get too much back at once. Like a good example of that, NFC Championship game in Atlanta. They got down like 28-7 fast. But he could have walked them back down, but he was trying to get it all back in one play. And they got them beat even worse. Fast forward 2 weeks later, 28-3, and the same Atlanta team got walked down in 17 minutes and an overtime possession after that. The difference between two 12s. One team stayed within the discipline. One knows that he's good enough to do it, but he's got that arrogant swag about him. But that arrogant swag will show up with the game on the line to Detroit on Thursday Night Football, and he throws a Hail Mary for the win.
He is the historian. He is Jay Ham. Check out Views from the 22. Give him a plug one more time before we bounce.
YouTube.com/the word culture, the number 1 with the S at the end. We're going live tomorrow, 10 a.m. We're talking Georgia, Alabama. our homegirl, the First Lady, Tanya Rogers. She is an Alabama alum. She will be in Tuscaloosa. She's going to join us from Atlanta first, then she's going to make the drive, down to the game. But she's always that's her squad. So I had to plug that. Shout out to my sister. And we're going to be rocking and rolling tomorrow morning, man.
Man, I'll be rocking and rolling in the Grove, so I'm going to have a lot of Tito's. Remember, if life hands you lemons, you don't freak out, you don't fret, you don't stress, you just make a lemon drop. Make sure it's with the best. So that's Tito's handmade vodka. Lee Sterling, Paramount Sports. He's on the other side. We are breaking down Memphis, Middle Tennessee State, Texas A&M, Arkansas, Oklahoma, Auburn, Georgia, Alabama, Ole Miss, Kentucky, and there's a free play. We'll tell you how to get it. Tennessee versus Miami in the National Football League. Back in 2 Shake Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
If you own a business, you know Luttrell Belting keeps you moving. Luttrell has cost-effective belts, conveyor components, and 24/7 on-site service to keep you operating smoothly. Text or just a phone call away at 800-441-8946 or online at LuttrellBelting.com. Luttrell's Memphis plant stocks belting in nearly every size and finish, and if they don't have it, they'll make it. From ordering to selection, fabrication, and installation, your Luttrell sales rep is there for you. Luttrell Belting keeps you moving.
Hi, this is Troy Fiveash, owner of Fiveash Roofing. In these uncertain economic times, there are so many things as a contractor and a business owner that I cannot control. The rising cost of materials, not to mention fuel and transportation costs. In the last 2 years, shingle prices have almost doubled, and commercial materials have doubled. And I don't have to tell you what fuel costs these days. But you know what I can control? How much markup I put on a project. I have always prided myself in knowing I never gouge a customer. But in an effort to ensure my crews have work and my customers are being treated fairly, I have lowered my profit margin, hoping to give you a price you can live with and keeping my crews busy. So if you need a roof or gutters, please give us a call. Fiveash Roofing, fair, honest, and ethical. Fiveash Roofing, a proud sponsor of Tiger Athletics and a member of the Tigers home team. 367-0050 or MemphisRoofer.com. 367-0050 or MemphisRoofer.com.
We're here with David Cooper, Vice President of Genesis Diamonds. David, we're familiar with iconic brands. Are there designers for engagement rings?
Absolutely. Like every other industry, there are 10 renowned bridal designers who have been leading the industry for years. They're trusted, respected, and exclusive. Every jewelry store wishes to help.
So what makes these designer engagement rings so desirable?
These designers drive a surge of customers to the store, making it the place to be. They attract shoppers who value quality, sophistication, and the ability to express their individuality.
Customers find these engagement rings in other stores?
Absolutely not. Other stores would love to have them, but they have to sell for what they can get, not what they wish to have.
So Genesis is cornering the market.
Certainly. From world-class exclusive selection from $1,900 complete rings to $250,000 celebrity rings. Best bridal designers in the world create these one-of-a-kind rings specifically to showcase
Genesis Diamonds, Operator Markets Extended.
It's Western Trading Days at Sunrise Chevrolet Buick GMC of Faulknerville. Almost $10,000 off MSRP on a new 24 Sierra 1500 Denali Ultimate 4x4. Even get over $3,000 off MSRP on a new 24 Buick Encore GX. Sunrise Chevrolet Buick GMC of Collierville. We make it fun to buy a car. We are professional grade.
Price does not include licensing costs, registration fees, taxes, and dealer doc fee of $7.99, which are to be paid by the consumer. Sierra RZ 323,623, MSRP $87,500, dealer discount $72.18, purchase allowance $27.50, Encore SB 011,607, MSRP $31,130, dealer discount $31.35, expires 9/30/24.
There's an institution in East Memphis that I love talking about. It's the Spirit Shop at 4848 Poplar Avenue, right down the street from Clark Tower, and it looks like a log cabin. It's been around Memphis since 1969 with a family-owned, friendly, knowledgeable sales staff that is just a wonderful place to go. I love going in and talking wine or bourbons, and they've got such great selection. So if you've not visited the Spirit Shop in a while, it's been remodeled. You'll love what you see when you need spirits. Tell Eddie Wallow said hello.
This is Original Sports Station. We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253DF Memphis.
I just want to say, when things get too heavy, just call me helium.
Now, back to Sports 56 Happy Hour on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Tito's Vodka. Here once again, Johnny Radio.
Welcome back to a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your buddy, Johnny Radio. Happy Friday, everybody. You know what we do at Friday at noon. We talk with the best. That's Lee Sterling of ParamountSports.com. Check him out. Go to ParamountSports.com. There's all kinds of info. But check out their amazing packages. We're going to break down right now 5 games for you, and then I'm going to tell you how to get a free play at the end of this segment. Tennessee, who's -1 versus Miami, the National Football League on Monday night. First and foremost, what's up, Lee?
Good. We made it out all right here. Just some 30 to 40 mile an hour gusts, but got a friend and his wife and their 2 kids headed down from Tallahassee. They could be without power for close to a week.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah.
So the hurricane is no joke right now, huh?
Yeah. I mean, this hit with like 140 mile an hour winds. I mean, there was a 20-foot surge. I've heard of like 10, 12, 15. I've never heard of a 20-foot surge before.
And you're right now lucky that you have power?
Oh, we're
all
fine
that?
in Miami. We're on the east side. I mean, this hit the
That's
west
true.
side. Tampa's a lot of areas of Tampa are without power. The hurricanes are no joke. Let me just tell you, the house that I grew up in was a 2-story home. The upstairs that I used to stay in until I moved out after college, when I came back after Andrew, all that was left was the cinder block and the tub upstairs. Nothing else. We had some letters that we had in a lockbox, a metal lockbox of my grandfather's. Someone returned them. They were found 2 miles away.
Oh my God! Oh my
I mean, they're
Lord,
almost
man.
like tornadoes. You know, I think it was like 140, 145 when it hit Miami in 92, and there was tornadoes in it. So there was some winds that were anywhere between 165 and 205. So,
Golly, I've never been in a hurricane. Like
well,
I'm
you don't want
very,
you want
very
no
lucky.
part of
I
it.
don't ever want to be a part of that. That'd scare me to death.
Oh, it's
Now, what was
it's
scary?
like a freight train. You hear the whistling. I mean, it is scary. So,
Well, thank goodness you're all right.
Yep.
Hopefully,
and hopefully,
everybody is,
there's not too much damage and people are all right. I mean, it's going all the way up. They're saying that the remnants of it might stay around, like in the Ohio area, for 5 or 6 days.
Oh, it's nasty up here, and heck, it screwed up the Braves and the Mets series this week, last week. Wednesday and Thursday, and dang, I just saw some video. Oh my goodness, yeah, Tampa got demolished.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Now speaking of getting demolished,
they didn't get a direct hit.
Memphis got demolished last week, by the way. Did you see
Yeah.
that against Navy? I sure didn't expect that, giving up 56 points to Navy after shutting out Florida State. Man, my heart was broken. Can the boys
Yeah.
get off the mat against Middle Tennessee State?
I think that they can. Middle Tennessee State, it's got some real problems. They allowed Duke to sack their quarterback 6 times. I know the kid actually, he grew up less than an hour from here. I saw him twice in high school. His name is Nick Badiato. Nick is a tough kid. Just not big. He's like 6'1", 200. He's taken a lot of punishment. I mean, when Rick Stockstill started, he started there in 2006. What happens is things had just fallen off. This rebuild is going to take a long time. When you have problems with the option, you can't just fix it during the game. I mean, the only thing you can get used to is the speed. But Navy had their number here. I think they rebound here. I think they win this game here 45-13.
45-13, they covered the 25. And yes, by the way, just so you know, you would not believe, if you would have seen some of the Memphis fans when they were looking at the score of that game, their just mouths were wide open and couldn't believe it. Arkansas, now they did play Auburn, and they're not any good, but Arkansas is getting 4 against Texas A&M, and so far this year, Texas A&M has not impressed me under Mike Elko. Which is the right side? A&M laying the 4, Arkansas plus the 4?
So Arkansas is going to run up and down the field. Arkansas has some big-time talent on the offensive side of the football. And if you watch their quarterback, I mean, he can do some crazy stuff, Taylor Green. He's a long strider. He throws the ball, throws a beautiful pass. He runs, and most quarterbacks, when they run, they get 5, 8, 10 yards. He can gain 30, 40 yards. And, I mean, he's like a 4.5, 4.4 guy. But they have trouble when games are close. They just, I don't know, certain teams, it's like in their DNA, and I can't explain it. Like, again, in that game a couple weeks ago when they were playing Oklahoma State, they were the better team. They gained 600
They had
yards.
that game, yep.
600 yards, and then they do stuff that you're like shaking your head. The guy that blocks for the punt, blocks the gunner twice, runs into his own returner, and they fumble the ball. I mean, how does that happen? So they just don't play smart. Maybe that's part of it here. A&M, really good run defense, only allowing 129 yards per game. Arkansas, they gained 240 per game. Something has to give here. But A&M has their number. They've won 11 out of 12 times in SEC play. I like A&M. I like this young quarterback. I think he's pretty good. I'll take A&M here for 28-20.
A&M 28-20 over Arkansas. The Fighting Pittmans are going down. Oklahoma, my goodness. I thought Josh Heupel was actually showing mercy in the second half, knowing that they couldn't score on the defense. Basically slowed down the game and just easily. I mean, it was a 10-point win, but it felt a lot worse. Oklahoma now has to get off the mat, and they got to play Auburn. And I'm just telling you right now, Hugh Freeze is. I don't know what's going on. I know he says he hadn't forgot how to coach. The scheme is good and all that stuff, but his quarterbacks are terrible. Which is the right side?
He's a good coach when he can cheat, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's be honest. How he got some of those players, we were wondering. We had a good idea what was going on, but here's the deal: both teams do not have good quarterbacks. Oklahoma's going to make a change. They're going to go with Michael Hawkins, a young kid. But when he went in that game last week against Tennessee, they were trailing by 3 touchdowns. They were playing prevent defense. It's easier to come in when you don't have time to prepare and think. You just go in, and they're playing that kind of defense. I mean, you can move the ball, and he made some plays. He was impressive. But it's going to be different here as he's thinking about it all week. The other team's going to game plan against you. They're not going to be playing a soft zone. They're going to blitz you. They're going to make you prove yourself. And I don't think their offensive line is any good, and they're missing their best 2 receivers in Anderson and Burks here. I think their defense is pretty good. I just don't think this Oklahoma team's very talented. I don't even think they're close to the elite teams. I'm going to take Auburn. They can just get some decent quarterback play here. They'll win this game here 24-17.
24-17. That also makes me feel better because I bet the under, and it's 45.5.
Right.
So that score will be actually perfect for me. I like it. It. You know what else I like? I can't wait for Georgia and Alabama. I mean, I'm fired up to see this. I want to see if Georgia's got wide receivers that can actually get separation for Carson Beck. I want to see if Jalen Milroe's taking that next step. The young wide receiver for Alabama, who's 17, is ridiculous. I can't wait for this. Georgia's a 2-point favorite in T-Town. Who you got?
So you're going to the Ole Miss game tomorrow, right?
You know, I'm actually, once I get off the air here, I'm heading down to Oxford now, so I can make sure I'm right.
Starting the party. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then you come back on the way home and you pick up dinner and eat dinner. Watch the Georgia-Alabama game, right?
Exactly.
Okay, there we go. All right, so a lot of talent, both sides of the field. 2 really good quarterbacks. You got Carson Beck, who I think is going to be a top 5 pick. You got Jalen Milroe, who is so good and dynamic and improving. You got a bunch of running backs. I mean, Georgia plays 4 or 5 guys. They mix and match there. Bama's going to go mainly with Jam Miller and Justice Haynes. I think all the quarterbacks and running backs, I think it's about equal. This game might be won by one big play. And if it's going to be made on the outside, my money's on Ryan Williams. He might be 17 years old, doesn't turn 18 until February. This kid is special. 10 catches, 4 touchdowns already. He's really developing a bond with Jalen Milroe. Other side, Georgia, here's what concerns me. There was like 5 or 6 snaps. I went back and watched the tape again in the Kentucky game where Kentucky rushed 3 and either got a sack or a hit on the quarterback. I mean, maybe they're going to, they just weren't fired up for that game. I don't get it, but they lost Brock Bowers and Ladd McConkey. Those are huge losses. Dominic Lovett, they thought was going to be the guy. Colby Young from Miami's nice, but okay. These are all number 2 guys. I just think that Alabama's going to come up with that one play that makes a difference. And how about this? When 2 top 5 teams match up, The home team has won 17 of the 27 games here. Wrong team favored. Roll Tide. Alabama 27-24. Who are you going to root for in that game?
27-24. Man, I'm whoever I have my money on, and right now it's leaning Alabama and Ryan Williams. Because, I mean, and the other thing is, I would almost sound like a hypocrite because all year long I've been sitting there saying I like Georgia's defense. I like Carson Beck. They just don't have the weapons on the outside. They don't have Brock Bowers and Ladd McConkey. They aren't walking through that door.
So Ole Miss does not play Alabama this year, right?
Ole Miss does not play Alabama. They play LSU. They got
Georgia.
Oklahoma.
Okay, November.
And they got Georgia.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I will say, though.
That's funny. Sometimes there's no love for either of those two teams, but, this could be one of the craziest years in the SEC. We could have, let's say Georgia wins this game, and then let's say you guys beat Georgia, and someone beats Ole Miss. Who knows?
I mean, that could happen, and also the thing that's crazy for me is nobody really talked about this year. Georgia and Florida has the most difficult schedule in the country. Right. But Georgia's not far behind it. They had to go to Titletown and play Alabama. Right. They have to go and play Texas at Texas. They go to Oxford to play Ole Miss, and then they get Tennessee at home. That's brutal.
Yeah, that is brutal. So what happens if there were three teams tied with one loss? Because there's no divisions now, right?
Nope.
So
you know what?
Head-to-head?
Yeah, I think they're going to have to. It's going to be a crazy smorgasbord of everybody
so the
messing
game
around
against
with
Georgia
everything.
might be, it is the biggest game, but if they were to lose a game, it would be better almost if Ole Miss lost to someone else, correct?
Mm-hmm. If they could beat Georgia, punch that dead gum ticket.
Right.
Speaking of Ole Miss, they play Kentucky tomorrow, first SEC game. They're 17.5-point favorite currently. And I'll tell you one thing, their offense looks completely amazing, but they've been playing nobody. Kentucky's defense has looked good. Is the line too big, or are you back in the Rebs?
All right, so here, their defense does look good. You got to give Kentucky credit. Mm-hmm. But they haven't played a road game. And different feel to that. They have not allowed anyone to throw for more than 166 yards against them. That's even Carson Beck. But Carson Beck is a drop-back passer. He is not a dual-threat quarterback like Jackson Dart. We have not seen Kentucky fall real far behind. If they fall behind by like 14, 17 points they have to throw, I think they got problems here. Then I think Ole Miss will be able to, tee off on them. I think Ole Miss is going to be challenged. I just don't think it's going to be this game here. Blowout special. Katie bar the door. Ole Miss 48-14. You're going to be having a good time at the game.
Oh, I'm going to be having a great time in the game, but you can still have a great time right now because guess what? Lee Sterling is going to give away a free play. Tennessee -1 versus Miami. How does the audience get it?
Just be one of the first 5 callers. If you call 800-400-9741, we're going to give you that game for free. We're waiting by. We'll take your call, speak to you personally. 800-400-9741 to get that huge game. Both teams need it bad. Tennessee Titans, the Miami Dolphins. Whoever loses this game, their season's probably done. So 800-400-9741. And how about this? It's not October coming up. We call it Locktober. You can get 5 weeks of games from today, all the way through Thursday, October 31st. And we rate them from 10 to 50 units. You're going to get 9 to 12, 9 to 13 games a week. We have our first 45-unit Major Wager Best Bet in college football going tomorrow. Normally $547. Use coupon code SAVE200. Just $347. How do you get it? Use that coupon code SAVE200. One place, ParamountSports.com.
He is the man. He is the myth. He is a living legend. He is Lee Sterling. He joins me every Friday. Make sure you give him a call, 800-400-9741. First 5 callers get Tennessee, Miami absolutely free. Be blessed, Lee. Take care of yourself. We'll do it again next week.
And be safe. Take care.
Thank you. That is my buddy, Lee Sterling. We're going to take a quick time out because we are going to come back with Jay Tomlinson of TSS Supply. We're going to talk with him. Don't forget, we're going to close the show out with T-Money and Uncle Brasky. So if I were you, I wouldn't touch that dial. Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
We are real sports talk. Sports 56 WHBQ. Available on your radio dial at 560 AM and 98.5 FM, as well as around the world online
at sports56whbq.com. Take us with you everywhere by downloading the Sports 56 app. And at home, just say, Alexa, play Sports 56. Wherever you are, stay tuned in to real sports talk. Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Guns, guns, and more guns. Over 700 firearms in stock. Home defense guns, old guns, new guns, used guns, big guns, little guns. Every gun you can think of, Classic Arms has them. All brands like Glock, Sig, Colt, Ruger, Smith & Wesson, Browning, Beretta, Benelli, Remington, Winchester, and more. Guaranteed lowest prices in town. Only gun importer in the Mid-South. Free gun inspections and appraisals and free bore sighting for the upcoming deer season. Shop online at ClassicArmsOfMemphis.com or visit Classic Arms at 1740 Germantown Parkway behind Quirky's Barbecue in Cordova.
Hey everybody, it's Chevy truck season, and together let's drive to All-Star Chevrolet in Olive Branch, where all the Chevy trucks are. Every new Silverado you're looking for, it's here, so come on down and drive a few. Financing as low as 1.9 and no payments for 90 days. Yes, that's 0 payments for 90 days, and your good credit deserves it. And just in time for tailgating season at the next game, All-Star Chevy has the best tailgating Tahoes. If you're in law enforcement, first responder, healthcare, military, education, recent grad, you get a $500 bonus. Come check out this huge, and I'm talking huge, pre-owned selection. Jeeps, Fords, Nissans, Toyotas, cargo vans, a ton of pre-owned Silverados. And if you got any vehicle you want to sell, bring it here to All-Star Chevy in Olive Branch and get the most money for it today. So don't miss this Chevy truck season sale going on right now in Olive Branch at All-Star Chevy, or check out allstarautogroup.com.
The best I do's start with Sissy's Blue. Discover bridal jewelry worthy of your big day at Sissy's Log Cabin, along with our spectacular experience that comes with our promise of exceptional quality, service, and brilliant natural diamonds. Experience our expansive selection when you stop by any of our 6 locations or shop online at sissyslogcabin.com. Find your perfect engagement ring only at Sissy's Log Cabin, because life's too short for ordinary jewelry.
Do you know one of the best things you can do for your employees or family's health? Provide Arctic Clear bottled water. Arctic Clear bottled water is your locally owned and operated bottled water provider. Arctic Clear is 100% natural spring water with free delivery and setup, dependable service, and no long-term contracts. What an easy choice. Call Jeff Manus today at 901-382-2363 or visit arctic-clear.com. Arctic Clear bottled water. Call now 382-2363. That's 382-2363.
Hungry for that delicious smash burger flavor? Dyer's Cafe is the original smash burger since 1912 and still smashing burgers in Collierville's historic town square. Come out for their lunch specials Monday through Friday, 11 to 2. Ask about their world-famous split dog and authentic Chicago or New York dog. Try the leaner side of Dyer's with a grilled chicken sandwich or freshly made salad. Also serving Lakes, Delta-raised catfish, Pasquale's tamales, and a customer favorite hand-breaded onion ring. Dyer's, serving world-famous burgers, dogs, and shakes in Collierville's historic town square.
4.9 meter V8, 0 to 60, and I'm about to find out.
Now, back to Sports 56 Happy Hour on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Tito's Vodka. Here once again, Johnny Radio.
Welcome back to a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your buddy, Johnny Radio. Happy Friday. I'll tell you one thing. You know what I do on Friday? Already actually did it. I did it on a Thursday yesterday. I went by Buster's Liquor Store, the one on Poplar and Highland, got me a big fat bottle of Tito's, best spirit in the whole wide world. Walked next door, got me about 4 porterhouse steaks, a couple strips. I did get one of those tomahawk steaks for my buddy because he's a super nice guy and he's been really good to me. Let me stay at his crib down in Oxford and party like a rock star, play ball like an all-star. But if you want to do your tailgating right, there's one place to go. And again, it's right there at the corner of Poplar and Highland. You can get all your liquor right next door at the liquor store, and then you can get all your meats, cheeses, fresh prepared meals. It is Buster's Butcher. There's nothing like it in Memphis. Check them out. They're at 199 South Highland Street. And don't forget, if you just need to hit up the liquor store, they've opened up a second location. Buster's now has a liquor store at Ridgeway Trace Shopping Center, so make sure you check that out. Don't forget, it is a Friday. I'm out here at TSS Supply, 5665 East Rains Road. It is pretty simple. If you are looking anything concrete resurfacing, this is your one-stop shop. You do concrete polishing. They got the coatings. They got all the supplies. They got everything you need. There's no reason to go to 4 or 5 spots when you can go to one. Get your crew to the job site. Heck, they even got ice for your coolers. Over 100,000 square foot warehouse, 400 square foot garage. It is absolutely ridiculous. And don't forget, on October 16th, there will be a lab surface demonstration. It's on decorative concrete coating. To reserve your spot, just email my buddy Brad at brad@tsssupply.com. That's Brad at tsssupply.com. We're going to talk with my buddy Mike Tillman first and foremost. Mike, what is up?
How you doing, man? Good afternoon.
I am doing wonderful. The weather didn't really hold up for it, did it?
We don't let it stop us. We're open every day.
Open every day, 7 to 5, Monday through Friday, rocking and rolling. If you're out there right now and you're thinking about some concrete resurfacing, or if somebody doesn't even know what that is, Mike, tell them what's going down.
Yeah, so we've got everything you need here for epoxy coating systems on a garage, for concrete stains, decorative resurfacers, repair products, all the ancillary products you need to complete those projects, and decades worth of knowledge that we can share with you and help guide you through your project.
So you always have an industrial expert on site year-round, 24/7, 365, don't you?
That is correct.
Any questions that somebody has, you can be a contractor, you can be a crew chief, whatever, or you could just be at home and you want to do some stuff in your man cave or your garage. Come out here, talk with my buddy Mike Tillman. Mike, so I am doing a huge job, let's just per se. Like, how long does it take you to come in here, get all your supplies, get loaded up, and get out?
Depending on the size of your project, Brad and them are super efficient. He's got some helpers out here. If you know what you need, it's very simple and quick. If you want to sit around and talk options and process, then it may be a little bit longer. We'd make time for whatever, but we have a inside loading bay, keep you dry on days like today, and help get you loaded and get you out of here with everything you need.
With a quickness. Now, tell me, Lab Surface is going to be here on October 16th. They're going to be doing some demonstrations. You got to, of course, reserve your spot by emailing Brad at tsssupply.com. Reserve your spot. What's going to be going on that day? What can you expect to learn?
So we're going to demo some full installs of some different products. These are going to be some broadcast flake products, some other different coatings products, install start to finish. You're going to have the guys that design the products here on site to answer questions. I'll be here. We've got other technical resources, and it's a good place for people who've used these products but aren't familiar with the brand, or if you think this might be something you're interested in doing yourself, or as a business, this will be a good chance to come and kind of test the waters and see if it's something that you might think is a fit for yourself.
How, like concrete resurfacing and restoration, all this stuff, like, to be honest with you, because I don't know much about it, has this been going on a long time?
Yeah, I mean, it's been around for a long time. It's changed a lot over the years. Concrete repair has been around for a long time. Now things are more aesthetic. People want to create a space in their backyard or their patio, or they want to transform their garage into a cleaner space, or even a man cave. Lots of decorative options, cool designs, cool colors, just lots of things that you can do. And again, it's innovative, new stuff that's only been around a few years, and stuff that's been here for 20, 30 years.
Now, I've been hanging out with the boys out here today in the warehouse. Again, we're at 5665 East Rains Road. That's TSS Supply. That's your one-stop shop for all your concrete and resurfacing needs. These guys out here love a little sports, I can tell. We've been talking a lot of sports, Mike. I got a question. Who's your team?
I'm an Alabama fan.
Oh,
yeah.
My goodness. Are you a little bit nervous this weekend? Georgia's coming to the house. It's Kalen DeBoer's first real test. It feels like, hey, going to Wisconsin's one thing. Having Georgia and Kirby Smart come to your crib is another. How you feeling about Saturday night?
I have a lot of confidence in the program. I think that Georgia's defense isn't as good as they were last year, and I think they're going to face something completely different with this DeBoer team, just his offensive scheme. And I don't know. We'll see how long it takes them to react to that. I think we have a chance.
I like Ryan Williams, the young kid who's 17 years old, man. He is absolutely nasty. He's got already 4 touchdowns on this early season. Jalen Milroy collecting on the big pass. He's running like a madman. Defense is playing pretty good. I like Alabama. I am not going to lie. So hopefully for me financially and for you and your heart, Roll Tide, roll.
Roll Tide.
What is it they say? Rama Jamma, Yellow Hammer, give 'em hell, Alabama.
Give them hell, Alabama. That's right.
That is right. I love it. Again, we're out here at TSS Supply. I'm talking with my good buddy Mike Tillman. By the way, I love your last name. It reminds me of being a young fella and going to Tillman when I was a kid. I'll have to tell you that story off of air. But if I just wanted to call y'all and then just kind of like, get a feel, like I have a job. Do you schedule, like say, hey, you know what, we're going to have a big job starting October 5th. Do you have people come in here, figure out everything they want and then give you basically a list when they pull into the back, you're just ready to rock and roll and load them up?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes that happens. Sometimes it's last minute. We deliver to your job site.
Oh, you deliver too?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, we'll bring everything to your job site. If you don't have a means to get it there, it just simplifies things for you. Yeah, I mean, you can have a regular recurring supply order. You can come in as you need per job. We can do some in advance planning for you for bigger projects. But our goal is to have everything that you need here all the time, so you're not having to run around town and rely on deliveries.
How long has this location been here?
We've been here since 2010, so we're going on 15 years. 15
years. My goodness, man. 2010. Lots changed in the last 15 years, hasn't it?
Quite a bit. Yes, sir.
It really has. Again, October 16th, there's going to be a lab surface demonstration. Come out here. It's got decorative concrete coating. Email Brad at tsssupply.com to reserve your spot. I'll be out here for another 30 minutes. I'm at 5665 East Rains Road. Again, this is your one-stop shop. Instead of going to 4 or 5 places, get your crew to the site, get your job going, get finished fast. It is TSS Supply, 5665 East Rains Road. You got to give anybody a shout-out, Mike? You got anybody that you might love that might be listening to you?
No shout-out, and I'm probably going to say something that I'm not supposed to, but it won't be the first time. If you come out on the 16th and you're here for the demo, we're going to have a fish fry on site right after that, so it'll be in the afternoon. Come out and join us. We'll
Oh, really? You're going to have a fish fry?
Yeah.
Get out of here, man. That just makes me want to come out here and learn a little bit about concrete so I can be part of the fish fry. Check out TSS.
Always a good time.
That is always going to be a good time. Do me a favor, y'all. Don't touch that dial. I got T-Money. I got Uncle Brasky. We're breaking down games. We're talking Georgia. We're talking Alabama, Ole Miss, Kentucky, and so much more right here on Sports 56 98.5 FM.
Join the voice of the Tigers, Dave Woloshin, for Wolo and Friends. Weekday mornings from 10 to 11 here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Fall is football at the Owner's Box Sports Bar and Grill in Lakeland, Town Square. Monday through Friday is happy hour from 3 to 6 with $1 off all draft meals, $5 off well drinks, $4.50 for house wine, and half off pretzel bites, mozzarella sticks, queso, corn dogs, and pickles. Then enjoy Friday night lights from 7 to closing. Dine in and buy 12 wings and get 5 regular wings for free. Come watch college football and every pro game on the weekends. All at the Owner's Box Sports Bar and Grill in Lakeland, Town Square. Highway 70, fall is football.
It's time to get your Kia on at Gossett Kia on the bike with 41 MPG and new 2024 Kia Forte LXS $199 a month, $37.99 to its signing. 2025 Kia Sportage $269 a month, $34.99 to its signing. And 2024 Kia Telluride S $359 a month, $39.99 to its signing. And 0% for 72 months on 2024 Kia EV9 Lite available. Plus, you always get peace of mind with Kia's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. Call Bobby J. He's ready to put you in your new Kia today. That's Gossett Kia 1900 Covington Pike or online KiaCovingtonPike.com. If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
Acquisition fee $20,000 per year, 20 cents excess mileage. Forte RE 794 626 MSRP 21820. Telluride RG 453 666 MSRP 39835. Sportage S73 40278 MSRP 29135. Includes all rebates and incentives. PF 695 includes TTNL. Must finance through Hyundai with approved credit valid through 9/30/24. Dealer stock only.
If you love sports and Mexican food, you can get the best of both at Los Cabos Mexican Bar and Grill on Summer near Graham. Watch all the big games on all the big TVs on all the walls at Los Cabos. And enjoy premium tequila shots anytime for just $5.50. Celebrate every day with lunch specials from 10 to 3 and happy hour from 3 to 8. Lunch is just $6.75 to $10.99 and margaritas start at $3.99. Experience real Mexican cuisine along with great sports at Los Cabos on Summer near Graham.
Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated in the best hearing aids of 2024 by USA Today, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, just $189.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aids.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 500,000 happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
Everyone needs protection, whether you're on the field or on the road, so make sure you have the best. Bob Simpson State Farm Insurance can buckle you up with auto insurance, can back you up with life and health insurance, cover your business whether it's starting, growing, or maturing, and don't forget to insure your home, no matter if you're an owner or a renter. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Call Bob Simpson today at 901-381-1233 or go online and get a free quote at bobsimpson.org. Stay protected with your good neighbor, Bob Simpson.
Jenkins Floors and More invites you to their retail warehouse where they pass wholesale savings on to you. Jenkins Floors in Little Rock, Cleveland, Mississippi, and now open in Horn Lake at 2356 West Goodman Road. Specializing in flooring and carpeting, tile, plantation shutters, and blinds, Jenkins makes your life easy with a 2-week turnaround. Contractors, builders, or family projects, call 662-469-9350 for a free estimate. Owners Timmy and Rebecca Jenkins say hello to Sports 56 fans and look forward to your business.
Today, I consider myself the luckiest man on the face of the earth.
Now, back to Sports 56 Happy Hour on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Tito's Vodka. Here once again, Johnny Radio.
Welcome back to a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your buddy, Johnny Radio. It's a Friday. I hope you are enjoying life. I'm getting ready to do 30 more minutes of radio, and then I'm heading down to see Uncle Brasky's uncle because he's crazy. Remember what we learned from Uncle Brasky's uncle? Do not freebase cocaine. Do not under any circumstance, because that man was in jorts. And men should never wear jorts. If you don't know what jorts are, it's when you cut your jeans and you make them into shorts. Men, don't do it. Don't do it. But I'm fired up for a little Ole Miss Kentucky tomorrow. I'm also fired up because I get to talk with my good buddy T-Money and Uncle Brasky. What's up, Money? How's life?
How you doing? Johnny, we're just here trying to reason with hurricane season. It's raining, Johnny.
Man, I know. But a little bit of water never hurt anybody, did it?
No, it didn't hurt anybody. We're fine unless you get a tree fall over in your yard with all the saturation. But other than that, Johnny, you'll be okay. Just look out.
Now, man, you worried about me heading down to Oxford this early?
Are you going tonight?
No, I'm going. I'm leaving right after the show.
Oh, are you? Oh, you are getting there early. So you can.
It's 11 a.m. kick, man.
I know. Well, we had a bet on you if you were going to make it down there. When I was talking to Uncle Brasky earlier, we were show prepping, and I said, he goes, "You think Johnny going to make it down?" And I said, "What time y'all tip?" He said 11. I said, "Hell no, he ain't making it." But if you go down today, you're making it.
Well, that's the whole point, because Chas knows that, Friday nights are kind of a little bit dangerous for me if I have to be somewhere early on a Saturday. So, yeah, she said we're just leaving right after work, get you down there and make sure that you wake up in the morning. I can just get you a Tito's and OJ and send you on your way to the Grove.
I mean, is Chassie not the salt of the earth?
She is. She's an angel. She
is
an
come
angel.
On, Johnny. I mean, think about that. She's preparing you to get for you to be Johnny Radio tomorrow. She just,
exactly.
Think about it.
Right now, she's packing my clothes, getting the bag ready,
I know,
getting my
packing your clothes, got you some Tito's and orange juice to get you started tomorrow, and whatever else you do to get started. I mean, I love it.
I do too. And how's my buddy Uncle Brasky doing?
Doing great, Johnny. Drinking good, smoking good, brother.
Man, that means you living good.
Exactly. We've hit 4 dime bag plays in a row.
You are absolutely on fire with the dime bag plays, but one thing is if you've been taking Ole Miss, they've been covering especially a lot lately. We're going to get into these games in a minute, but I'm kind of curious, when you saw that line open up at 17.5, did you think to yourself that maybe was it a little bit larger than you expected?
It really was after the way Kentucky played Georgia. I did think it was large.
Mm-hmm.
It's back down to 15 now. I like 15 better than 17.5.
Me too. I didn't even know it went back. I hadn't looked back at it since I was like, man, you know what, if I'm going to be down there.
Hey, now, Johnny, tomorrow, right there, we're going to get the courtesy of BB. Our buddy Slim is putting on a Bloody Mary bar at 8 o'clock in the morning with Tito's Vodka right below the bell tower in front of the stadium. You can't
I
miss
will be
the 10.
there.
It's the only one with live music. It's called the Hottie Toddy Cocktail Party. We're going to be there courtesy of BB's. Our boy Slim is putting on Bloody Mary bar.
Man, I'm so excited. I'm ready for that. That's just my kind of living tomorrow. I can't wait. We're definitely going to be doing this.
We're going to get started at 8 in the morning. After the game, we're going to roll up to the square. We're going to look at all the beautiful scenery. It's supposed to be sunny and pretty tomorrow. It's going to be about 68 degrees, 66, which is perfect football weather.
And by the way, speaking of that, I just also wanted to say something. Like, you know, the crazy thing is I don't think people understand. Like, when you go down to Oxford, you will go to a place where you've never seen that many beautiful women in one spot, period, on earth. Like, I don't care if you're at the Miss Universe pageant. There's more hotties down in Oxford.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Amen. I love that. Tim's like, amen.
I mean, praise Jesus.
Now, I got to ask you, Tim, what happened to Memphis last week against Navy? What was that?
You know, Johnny, things went astray and things went awry real quick. I hear Uncle Brasky giggling because, I mean, we kind of talked about this. Everybody kind of said this, and Navy gives us fits, and boy, did they give us fits. I mean, we couldn't stop a nosebleed last week. And, you know, Big Al Jennings told me at the bar, he said, man, I've been playing college football, and I play as Memphis. And the team that always gives me fits is Navy. And he's telling me this in a video game. And it was true to life. You know, that's kind of amazing. But I'm going, first off, two things are weird, how accurate the college football game is to real life, and two, why a 65-year-old man playing video games.
You know what? What else are you going to do when you're 65 years old?
I guess play video games. Sounds fun to me. And I don't know if they had this. Thought they were going to go to the Pac Sorry. That's what I call it, the Pac-12. I call them the Pac Sorry. I mean, I'm thinking that's the greatest decision Memphis ever made. And for some of these people and fans, and I hate to say it, Johnny, some people in your profession, the media personality, I mean, talking about what a missed opportunity, and I don't think that was missed opportunity at all. They wanted us to come off our money into a sorry conference. I'm sorry, but nobody in Memphis, Tennessee cares about Oregon State coming to the Liberty Bowl. I'm sorry. You know, they'd rather Western Kentucky come to the Liberty Bowl.
Yeah.
They may have a cousin or two, you know, from Bowling Green. You know, come on down. It's a short trip, about 4.5 hour drive down. You know, we got more in common with Western Kentucky than Oregon State. Think about this. I think it was a great move by Ed Scott to do AD over there. I think it's great. I mean, and you got some fools that have never strapped it on, never played football in their life, trying to make football decisions. You played soccer and you're in wiffle soccer, and you're saying this is a bad deal. I mean, come on. You don't even know what you're talking. You're overrated, son.
And I'm right there with you. I mean, I just didn't think it made any sense. And again, like Washington State, I mean, I love Cougars, I love Beavers, but I don't care about Washington State or Oregon State.
Amen again, Johnny. Amen.
All right. Amen. I am preaching today. All right, boys, we got to do a little bit of talking before I get to your picks. I got to ask you an NFL question. Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson? They play Sunday night. First money. Who you got, Bills or the Ravens? Because and also which quarterback you taking? They're playing in Baltimore. Baltimore is a 2-point favorite over Buffalo, who's undefeated.
Oh my goodness gracious, Johnny! I like what both of them do, and as soon as you say, well, you know, Lamar can run and throw, well, my last I could check, Josh can run and throw too. I mean, he ain't juke moving you or nothing or spin moving on you. But when Josh gets in that open field, he can get going too. I sort of like the Bills on this one. I mean, I think I'm gonna go with the Bills. As a Browns fan, it's hard for me to bet to go with anybody with the Baltimore Browns. So I'm going with the Bills, Johnny. I like the Bills.
I like that you like the Bills, and I feel so bad that you're a Browns fan. Because I care about.
I mean,
you.
Is this just not a travesty? I mean, but hey, that's
well,
what
you got Deshaun Watson.
I agree.
He's terrible.
I mean, awful. And even Amari Cooper's had enough, and he's like the nicest guy in the NFL, and even he's had enough. I mean, how good's Amari Cooper? You're posting back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons with the Browns. I mean, think about it.
That is pretty tragic. Who you like, by the way, Uncle Brasky?
Rough.
If I had to bet that game, I would actually take the Ravens at home. I don't know why. I guess because I liked them embarrassing Dallas when they got their first win this year and embarrassed Dallas. Lamar Jackson is hard to stop. If he's on the taking off, you know.
All right.
Like I said, that's a tough game to call. It's going to be a great game. Don't get me wrong.
I'm thinking the one issue for me is Buffalo's defense has been playing so well this season, and Baltimore is the dead last worst pass defense in the National Football League, giving up over 300 yards per game. I feel like Josh Allen and boys going to get off. I like the Bills to beat them.
Yeah, Khalil Shakir, I think he replaced Diggs pretty well, in my opinion. Sorry, John.
That little guy right there has been playing really good. And then you got Keon Coleman. I mean, he threw the ball. 10 different pass catchers caught a ball last week for Buffalo. Like, they just spread it around. They don't have to just force feed the ball to Diggs anymore, so I like it. All right, now we got to get back to a little bit of picking. Before we get to your picks, though, I had to tell you, Jacques Lecoq, he's reached out. He says that he's parts unknown near Poplar and Mount Moriah. I'm guessing that's probably the half shell. He said his big pick for the week is Alabama +2. He says also in consideration, he's kind of leaning Arkansas plus the 5.5 and Auburn +2, but his big pick is Alabama, wrong team favored. He says Rama Jamma Yellowhammer, give them hell, Alabama.
Uh-huh. Amen.
Tell him to let us do the heavy lifting on this. Don't jump out there like that. Let us do the heavy lifting on this.
I mean,
all right,
tell Dr. Stock we went 4-1 last week combined, Uncle Brasky and I, when we put these two Mensa minds together.
And I have to say, I did listen to you last week, and buddy, I needed that because 2 weeks ago I had the worst Sunday and Monday combined. I went 1-10 Sunday and Monday.
Johnny, I've been there, done that, got the T-shirt, and paid the bookie. I promise.
Man, I was online trying to sell a kidney and everything, and then baby, I came back. I'm all the way back. So
I love it. Johnny.
So what do we?
Last week?
What do we got this week?
Yes, it was. And I think we need to keep on going, Johnny. And just remember, Johnny, I don't know your bankroll any more than you know mine. And with that being said, Johnny, you got a reason with hurricane season. And the Hurricanes play tonight. I think it's down to 17. It got up to 19 at one point. They're playing the Hokies, Virginia Tech, one of the worst college football teams in America. And Cam Ward, he is him. I told you last week he's my dark horse / white horse to win the Heisman Trophy. I think that's going to. He's got the attitude of a Miami Hurricane, and I think he's just flat out good. I loved him last year at Wazoo, so I like the Miami Hurricanes minus the 17-19 wherever you got them. It's kind of bouncing back and forth, but if you can get it at 17 in the hook, lock her in. Go ahead. I think they run them out tonight. I think it's a no contest. She'll be covering at halftime, Johnny.
Oh, it's a little Friday action. The Hurricanes, they play tonight, Virginia Tech, and again, man, Frank Beamer ain't walking out that door, is he?
Man, he ain't. Beamer ball been dead. That's long gone. I mean, they had Fuente there, which was a debacle. I don't know, where is Fuente? I love you, Fuente.
He's
but where
chilling,
you
man.
at?
He's
Good.
just chilling.
I hope he's collecting a check, doing some fishing, and maybe a little hunting or something. I don't know what he's into. Maybe he's down there, at the bar for all I know. But I like Fuente, but it was a debacle there at Virginia Tech. The Hurricanes are going to get busy tonight. Go ahead and lock that in. You go 1-0. Get ready for the weekend.
I don't know what you said. You said hunting, and it made me think about something. So my buddy Bob, I don't know, it's dove or duck, some bird you shoot. He went hunting 2 weeks ago, and I jokingly sent him, and I said, well, be careful. Don't go Dick Cheney on anybody. And then 45 minutes later, he texts me back. He's like, dude, you jinxed us. Some 13-year-old kid just shot us all.
Oh, my God.
They were dove hunting.
They were.
Man,
yeah,
they were
dude.
dove shooting. That was the biggest dove he's ever seen.
Dude, it was hilarious. I jinxed him though. So, back to your pick. Who did you pick? Because man, this edible's kicked in and I'm ready.
Miami Hurricanes, Johnny. We're going to move on to the next play, and finally, this football team is not favored by 5, 6, 7, 8 touchdowns. However, Vegas just puts that number so far out there. And they got to go on the road to Michigan State, and that's fine. If Michigan State's not a good football team, I don't think they are anywhere close to being talented with the Ohio State Buckeyes. We're finally not laying 6 touchdowns. It's 24-point spread. Go ahead, get it. If you like buying hooks and that, get it down to 23 and a hook and be happy with yourself. But it's going to cover either way. I think the Buckeyes get busy on Saturday over Michigan State. It's about 24 in the hook. What is it right now, Johnny?
24 exactly currently right now. I'm looking at it. I'm thinking about playing
24. Go ahead and lock her in. They're just getting started. We haven't even seen Will Howard run yet with Quinshon Junkin and Henderson back there just having a field day on defenses. And you can't cover the number 4 Jeremiah Smith and those guys are BQ and all them guys. They're good, man. I'm telling you.
Jeremiah Smith is legit, bro.
And that defense is coming along. Oh, he is. And that defense is coming along. A lot of people say that Ohio State, they bought the They did not buy that team. Now, they got Quinshon. They got some high-level guys, Will Howard. They did not buy that team. What they did is they retained that team. That's what Ohio State does, is they bring in guys and they keep them there. You don't get a whole lot of guys transferring out for big money because we'll say, you want big money, we'll give you big money. We retained the football team. If you look at that defense, they all played for us last year, minus the boy from Alabama. It was a retained football team, and that is the name of the game in this type of college football. If you just think you can go out and just buy players, what you need to do is keep your good ones. You can't get Caleb Downs and Julian Sayin leaving Alabama to come to Ohio State.
Man, I got a question for you.
Duncan to leave Ole Miss and come Ohio State. Name one other than the quarterback kid over there at Syracuse. Name another Ohio State player that left and is a huge impact on the current team.
Well, you beat me to it. I was going to say, do you think Kyle McCord right now? He's having a hell of a season over at Syracuse. They did lose last week, though, didn't they?
They did, but I'll tell you what, Kyle McCord, let's not forget, just about a year ago, he led a fourth-quarter comeback at Notre Dame where I was there with Big Slender live and in person. I saw him engineer a fourth-quarter comeback on the road against a top 10 club at the time in a hostile environment. And Kyle McCord went down there and won the ball game. So Kyle McCord is a good player, but he is not Will Howard. So
all right, we're going with Ohio State.
The quarterback room got too big. Ohio State runs 24 points. Lock it in.
Oh, I love it. Ohio State minus the 24, Hurricanes minus the, what did it drown to 17, you said?
It is. Go ahead and lock her in.
All right, Brasky, what do you got for me?
Let me tell you what I got for you, Johnny. I'm betting both of these games regular play on the money line. I think these lines are skewed. I'm taking Louisville money line over Notre Dame.
Ooh.
I think Louisville goes there, handles their business. And I like Arkansas on the money line against A&M and Dallas, Texas. They play down there in Arlington at Jerry's World every year, where you can go get you a $28 pitcher of stinky beer and a $5 pizza that's $25. But anyway, and I've got 2 dime bag plays this week.
Two dime bags.
Oklahoma, 2 dime bags. I think this is so great. I like Oklahoma. They're now plus 1.5 at Auburn.
Ooh.
Auburn has turned the ball over 9 times in their last 2 games. Don't have a quarterback. Now, Oklahoma's going to be starting a freshman quarterback. But that Oklahoma defense kind of held Tennessee in check.
Well, Michael
Tennessee
Hawkins
has-
is going to be starting over Jackson Arnold in this game for, of course, OU. But, man, I felt like Tennessee almost just kind of like took their – like Josh Heupel had mercy on them.
I don't know that was the case, or that Oklahoma defense just held them in the game so long, But Auburn is awful. I mean, this team.
Yeah, they are.
5 picks last week. I mean,
That is
Arkansas
terrible.
should have scored 2 more touchdowns on them. They're terrible.
Well, what's our
And
other dime
for
bag,
the
by the way?
By the way, it's Ole Miss minus 15. That line's down to 15 over Kentucky. You'll be able to
Hotty
go back
toddy.
in the Grove, getting your bookie online, telling him, come on and pay me. I'll take half his money up front.
I will
when
see
you get done
you.
with this.
I'll see you at 8 a.m. in the Grove, my brother. We'll be drinking some Bloody Mary, some Tito's, T-Money, hold down the fort in Memphis. Y'all do me a favor. Get out there, make this world a better place. We're going to see you on the flip side. Peace.